All right, here is our project for today. We are making a porch sign for Valentine's Day that says love. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy this project is. All right, to prepare, I have cut 4 of these, I think Hobby Lobby calls them slim sticks. They're their version of a skinny stick. I've cut them about 5 inches. I think they're 5 inches long. They just need to all be the same length. And I've got them laying as close together as I can, and I just use that craft stick to even them up. Then I'm going to tape the ends so that, because these are trying to pull apart. So I'm going to do that. Then I have some regular craft sticks that are cut so that they're just slightly narrower than my 4 slim sticks are together. And I cut 3 of those. And these don't have to be placed exactly. They're just to keep everything together. They're not really going to show. They go on our back of our piece. They're just there to hold those sticks together, to keep everything nice and firmly attached. And there we go. So now I am going to pick this tray up and move it off to the side so that we can prepare to cut out our letters. Now off camera, I printed off some 1/8 inch graph paper. This is 8 squares to the inch, and I decided 8 was a good size to make letters. And I decided this would be really easy for everybody to make letters. I know I have trouble drawing nice blocky letters, and the sign we're making today is kind of a combination of a fall sign that I saw after I had done all the fall signs and all the fall things I wanted to do, and then a Valentine sign that I saw the other day. So I thought, well, this will make a good, combine the two, and I can make a really cute Valentine sign. So I am going to draw a line there. Now that's on one of the gridded lines. That's 3 inches long. I'm not going to use all that. I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 1/2 inch mark. And I'm going to draw another line. And then I'm going to go up to, what I'm making is, all total, I'm going to need 4, 2, 3, 4 boxes here that are 3/4 of an inch by a 1/2 inch. So let's see if I got this. See if I can talk and do that all at once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I got it right. All right, so in each of these will be one of our letters of our word love. I just did that in pink. You don't have to draw yours in pink, in the pink. I did that so that you guys could see it more easily. Now I'm going to draw my lines that I'm going to cut on. And one of these, I'm not going to draw a line. I'm not going to make the lines for the O. I'm just leave that box plain. Find the center. And I've been practicing these off camera to come up with a way that I really liked the letters. And you can use letter stickers. You could do something else for your letters. You don't have to do your letters the way I am. I thought this would be kind of cute. Like I said, I saw a fall sign that was really rustic and really cool that I really liked. And I wished that I had been able to do it for fall, but And I'm going to go about halfway up that one and about halfway down that one. Now, I'm going to cut these out. I'll just cut the L out here, and then I will take care of the O, and then I'll turn the camera off and finish cutting these out off camera so you don't have to watch me, because I'm just going to cut away the part that's not the letter, obviously. And for the O, fold this in half. And if you feel more comfortable drawing your lines to cut, go ahead and do that. Do I have my, yes, smaller scissors? I don't need those humongous scissors. Then just cut a heart, just like we all learned to do in grade school. All right, I'm going to cut out my other two letters, and then I will prep for the next step. All right, all my letters are cut out. I have a piece, just a scrap of craft color cardstock. This is the same stuff we made to make the moving boxes a few months ago. And I have a glue stick. Now I'm going to very carefully make sure that I put these with the graph side down. The only letter it'll make a difference on is the L, but we're going to put these on with the good side up. That way we can glue this to the back of the cardstock, and we can cut out our letters, and the other side is the side we'll use up on our sign. So I'm going to let that glue dry, and then I am going to cut these out. And when these are glued and are dried and cut out, and my wood pieces are glue is dry, I'll come back and we will move on to the next step. All right, I have these all cut out. Now it's a good idea to do kind of a trial fit. Make sure these are going to fit on your sign in a way that you like. And we're not gluing them down yet. We're just double checking that, yeah, these are going to fit just fine. Now this is a piece of masking tape. I've got a piece sticky side up, and I've got it taped down on each side. You've seen me do this with a lot of things when I want to paint little things that I don't want to have to hold on to. There. Now we are going to paint this part black, and the one end is not perfectly straight, so it doesn't need to be evened up all the way. If I want it a little bit more even than it was. There. Now, I'm going to put some black paint on this one. And I'm going to put my black paint out on this little bottom of this little cup. And we're just going to paint this. I'll probably paint that the rest of the way off camera. I'm going to paint the whole thing black, but we've all painted before. These guys, I have 4 colors of paint. I have Folk Art in apple red, I have Apple Barrel in white, I have Ceramic Coat in salmon, and I have Apple Barrel in flag red. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you may have noticed that these are the same colors I used last week on our doormat. Well, we're going to use these colors again this week. Since there's nothing that can get onto my brush, I am going to just dip my brush into the lid. And each one of these pieces is going to be a different color. So I painted that heart. The heart is now flag red. Let's make the E this color. Let's make the E apple red. And this way we don't get paint all over our fingers. Now I am going to lay these, set these jars out in the order that the colors are on here, just in case I decide I want to do a second coat. Now I'm going to make the V in white. But I don't necessarily want a really, I don't need a really super even coat because we are going to distress this. That's why we used craft cardstock. I'm hoping this is going to give a really cool effect when I get done. And when I get this, when this is finished, it's going, these are hopefully going to look like they were wood. And it looks like I probably will want a second coat, but I'm going to reserve judgment until that paint dries. So I'm going to finish painting this sign base with the black. I'm going to clean my brushes, and when the paint is dry, I'll decide if I need a second coat. If I do, I'll go ahead and give a second coat. When they're ready to put together, I'll come back and we will do that part together. All right, only the L and the heart needed the second coat of paint. So now I have everything painted and the paint is dry. I've got some sandpaper. And I'm going to just the edges a little bit up the middle, on the ends of, and we're just doing this on the boards right now. And you can go as much or as little as you want. Then those letters, I want to hit, and I'm leaving them taped down so that they stay put. And I want to get just the edges. And the paper will pull a little bit. That's fine. White is trying to transfer, so I'm going to go to a clean spot on my sandpaper. But by using the craft color paper, it makes it look like these are made of wood when you sand back the paint a little bit on the edges. And I'm okay with it being a little bit roughed up because it makes it look more aged. All right, now I am going to get out some glue, and we are going, first I'm going to take a moment, I'm going to interrupt my video by just a second while I take a picture of these, because I want you guys to be able to see in the blog post how those looked, just in case it's hard to see on the video. Now I'm going to have my ruler here so that I know this is the middle. So let's see if we can get, and it's all right if part of that white paper peels off. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. So I want this one right about there. And I am going to coat this with a coat of Mod Podge, so it's okay if I get a little glue out onto the black part. The knife. Be gentle taking it off the tape so you don't tear it. since these are paper, that's why I want to coat everything with Mod Podge later. Okay, come on, scoot over just a little bit. And then the last letter. Use your knife to kind of help you to get that peeled up without tearing your letters. Because remember, they are just cardstock. And if you had access to small wood letters, they would work on this really well, but I didn't have any, and I didn't want to have to go anywhere in the snow today to go get them, because it's nasty outside. And I have kind of vowed I'm going to use up a lot of my stash before I go buy new stuff. So I'm going to let that glue dry. When this is dry, I'll come back and we will put some clear Mod Podge on and then add one more little bit of trim. So let's let the glue dry. All right, my glue has dried. So now I have some matte Mod Podge here and a nice clean brush. You want to use kind of a soft brush when you put on Mod Podge. It spreads better and it doesn't leave as many lines. So I want to make sure I don't have a bunch of it pooled at the tops of the letters, because that may stay cloudy. If you do that, sometimes when you have extra thickness on Mod Podge, it will stay cloudy. Mod Podge is kind of picky about how you do it. So I'm going to let that dry, and then when that's dry, I only have one more step, and this will be ready to display. All right, here's our sign. It's all finished, and I mean, you could go with it just this way, but one of the signs I saw had a cute little jute bow tied on the top of it. And I don't have any jute twine that's thin enough, but I have embroidery floss. It's a little light to be considered jute color, but it's close enough. I'm leaving myself a lot of line, a lot of extra here that I'm going to cut off and waste, but that's because I don't want to have to fight with this. And if I have longer pieces, it's a lot easier to tie this. Because I can tie a big bow and then I can make it into a tiny bow if I can get my finger through there. Well, come on. And now I am going to move this up to where I want it. I'm going to get just a tiniest bit of tacky glue out off to the side of my tray. I'm going to get a toothpick. I'm going to put glue right there, and I'm going to work some glue underneath my bow. And then we're going to let this glue dry before we trim our ends off. And I'm actually going to clamp this so it stays nice and tight in contact with that glue. So we're going to let that dry. When that's dry, I'll be back and we will trim it and see how it looks on the front porch of the dollhouse. All right, the glue has had enough time to dry, so I'm going to cut my little pieces, my little ends here. And yeah, I'm wasting a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. Now, I do want to separate these just a little bit on the edges because it looks a little more finished, a little bit more like the real ones are usually displayed. And I've still got a little glue here, so I am going to, maybe I do, ahead and kind of just glue that down on the back. It won't show, and that will allow it to stay a little bit more where I want it to. But it is now ready to display on the front porch of the dollhouse. So let's move over there and see how this looks. All right, there is our love sign next to the front door of the dollhouse. I hope you enjoyed today's project. If you did, leave me a like, leave a comment. If you enjoy my content and you haven't subscribed, I encourage you hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.